Does she not know that I am the shade assassin? By her ass up, and I don't even need a fire to do it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Shade Assassin channel. I know some of y'all wondering, well, dang, where have you been, girl? Because you haven't been posting, you haven't been saying nothing on your community tab. Like, what is really going on? I am so sorry, you guys. I've been dealing with some real life issues, and I haven't been having time to really do too many things, so I had to kind of break away from the internet and YouTube for a second, but I am back, and I am going to be more consistent in dropping content, whether it's with RHOA, RHOBH, whatever. I'm going to be more content because I have a lot to say, because a lot of these people, between the trolls and some of the housewives, they really tried it when it came down to Kenya Moore. And you know, you guys, this is a channel, Kenya Moore stands, so anybody that's not a Kenya Moore stand, you will get happily blocked and red for filth, honey. So don't come over here with all that extra stuff. Now, Kenya Moore apparently did an interview with the legendary producer, Carlos King, and it was a lot that she said in his first part that I feel like was very alarming, and it was a lot of people that gave their own commentary. You got some people that said they still don't like her, she's a mean girl, so on and so forth, but then you had some people that once didn't like her before, and now they say that interview had, made her see Kenya in a different light. Then you got some people that Kenya can't do no wrong in their eyes. So I am here to give my own little twos and views on how I feel as far as what she said and the interview itself. Now, I ain't finna break down the whole exact interview from top to bottom. I'm just gonna point out little key things that I feel like that I had said in the past, and it's manifested into this interview. One of the key things that I noticed in this interview is that Carlos had touched on Kenya's past, her upbringing. Now, I know some of y'all gonna be like, oh, everybody has a past, everybody we have mother issues, whatever. No, that ain't always the case. Some people don't know how to be normal because of their upbringing. Some people had to grow thicker skin from childhood because their parents was not as involved or as nurturing or as whatever you want to call them. They wasn't that for them. And speaking from experience, that is true. Because sometimes whatever goes on at home, whether it's your father did something to you or your mother did something to you, that does affect you in your adult life. So all you out there that's trying to make excuses, trying to say, oh, she's just saying that because, how about you? You probably got a cousin. You probably got a cousin right now that's going through it with their parents or people in their family. So don't sit up here and try to scrutinize her because she found the way to try to be successful. And most people that have been through the slums and came out on top, they didn't get there by just being a pushover. So I'm sorry that your fave is a pushover and Miss Kenya Moore is going to come out every time being the queen that she is. But that's enough about what I got to feel about that. I'm going to let her speak for herself, and we're going to come back and I'm going to give my commentary on it.
My life was different. I felt like my life that I was living was different from a lot of other kids around me. And I felt like all of the adversity that came my way dealing with my mom, who could have easily destroyed me, like literally she told me she would destroy me to my face.
Your mother said that to you?
My mother said that to me. She said, I will dog you for the rest of your life, to my face.
How old were you?
I was about, I had to be, that was when I was hiding in my mother's closet. I had pre-recorded something because she wouldn't talk to me, and I was trying to get her to speak to me. And my cousin and I pre-recorded on the little tape cassettes, and I hid in her closet of my grandmother's home, her mom, hoping that when she came home, I could just press play, she would listen, and I poured my heart out, like just saying, you don't have to speak to me, you don't have to, we don't have to be friends, you don't have to call me your daughter, but can you at least speak to me, acknowledge me, let's try to have a friendship. And when she came home, my cousin buried me in the closet, put all the clothes, things in. So I was hidden in her closet. And when she came home, I remember my heart was just beating out of my chest. And I think it was around 11, 12, I think. And she came in, she figured out what was going on. She was like, who is there? She opened the closet door. She pulled all the clothes and things off of me, grabbed me out of there, took the recording, and she was livid. She was livid. My grandmother was home. It was her mom. And she told me, I don't have a daughter. She pretended like, I didn't exist, but she was livid. She had a conversation with my grandmother, her mom, and she told her mother to her face, I've never had a child. She was like, I've never had a child. And my grandmother, for the first time ever in my life, I saw her take up for me. Like, why can't you just speak to her? Why do you have to treat her that way? And my mother was like, I've never had a child. I don't know what you're talking about. They were arguing, and I just remember crying. My cousin was crying. And after she was done speaking to my mom, her mother, she came to me and she said, I will dog you for the rest of your life. She was like, I will never be your friend. I will dog you I will never forget those words.
Now, Team Tour, let me ask y'all a question, and you can leave your answer down in the comment section. Do you believe that Kenya's rant or comebacks or whatever you want to call it, do you believe it's justified after hearing the situation about her mother and how she treated her when she was growing up? Because a lot of people never want to give Kenya any type of credit. Why? I don't know, but we all know why, because it's Kenya.
It was me, because it was me. Oh, it was Kenya, so it's okay.
When Kenya do something, it's over the top. But when you got people like Porsha and Marho doing the same exact thing, nobody never want to look at what they do. But just because it's Kenya, it's a different story. Leave your answers down in the comment section. So we're going to move on to the next thing she touched on, which is Bravo's racism and Bravo's colorism issue. Let's take a look at what Queen Kenya says about that.
Way that I respond, and it's not fair because they just forget about what people have done to me, and it's not nice.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with colorism? You are a chocolate black woman.
I know that's come up a lot as of late, and I definitely see that there is a choice being made and how to respond to people that look like me. You know, I'm
Candace Dilla Bassett.
Yes, chocolate girl.
Chocolate.
Yeah. Undeniably chocolate.
Candace, a wordsmith, smart,
Yes,
a
very.
pageant girl.
Yes.
Read the Girls for Phil.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, they want her out.
Yeah.
You also.
They can't take us. They can't take us.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I have seen a lot of that on these shows. I have. It's not a lie. It's not made up. It's not a perception. It is a reality.
Now, when I look at Real Housewives as a whole, I feel like I agree with Kenya as far as like the colorism issue, because if you look at Housewives of Potomac, it's kind of the same thing over there. Candace is like the Kenya Moore on Potomac. Every time she read the girls or anytime they come for her, she be on point, quick on her feet, whatever. But it's crazy. I agree with Kenya on the colorism part, because it just seems like they be wanting a certain group of people to outshine the ones that's really the stars. And I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, in my opinion, it's been a colorism. It's been like talked about for many times in many interviews that has been addressed to the darker complected people. So it's obvious. So let's just put it out there. It's obvious. It's some colorism issues. And that's why I am a full advocate for Kenya Moore to have her own show. Speaking of having her own show, she also addressed why that Bravo have never gave her own spinoff. Listen to this.
Season they do that is a message to me. I mean, the message is maybe, like you said, I don't feel that my time on this show has been as valued as it should have been, as it should be. Where are my spinoffs? When I was at the height of my time on this show, and I wanted a spinoff with my child having a baby, and I was denied that, and you know why? That should have never happened. Because the show should come first. The show should always come first. And I cannot say that the show is coming first now.
I'm not saying she should leave Bravo to get her own spin-off. I could have sworn in my last video, which was some months ago, that I had said that she might as well leave Bravo, leave Housewives, and get her own spin-off. Because out of all the Housewives on Atlanta that got a real good story about them, Kenya got the best story, in my opinion. Between the neglect of her mom, the birth of Brooklyn, her unstable marriage to Mark, on down. And then let's not forget the business ventures that Kenya Moore has started and is flourishing as we speak. So for Bravo to sit up here and not give her spin-off because of the fact that she didn't come out and basically put her marriage out there to Mark, it's beyond me. Bravo, you really dropped the ball on this one. I believe Kenya on that one, because ain't no way in the hell that Kenya should not get a spinoff, but you can give people like Candy a spinoff. You can give other people a spinoff, which were flops, a spinoff, but not the head honcho or one of the head honchos of Atlanta. I would even be cool with y'all giving Nene one. Just somebody entertaining that's going to bring it. And then you even gave Porsha her own show, and look what happened with that, a big ass flop. So all you people that said Porsha need to come back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta and all that, girl, bye. Because her own show spinoff was a flop. It was a thumbs down. And I'm not saying it as a Kenya Moore stand. I'm just saying it as a fact. A lot of your counterparts said it was a flop. But that's no here, no there. Let's keep going. Speaking of Porsha, she touched on the beef that started between her and Porsha. Let's take a look.
So the thing with Porsha is, okay, yeah, sure, she screwed up my title. Plenty of people do it. I think they're this, a lot of people think they're one and the same. They're both prestigious titles. Miss America, Miss USA, right. They're the same. It was her reaction. Like, it was like, like, oh, whatever, girl. Whatever. Like, no, it's not whatever. It's Miss USA. Like, I'm telling you that you got it wrong. Don't go, oh, whatever, ha, 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 ha. No, say, I'm so sorry for that. Don't embarrass me. So it was that. I remember going out getting some air. So this is when I think they kind of took her aside. Like, she came out, she was polite at first, she came back, and then that's when the insults started to fly. Like, she was like, you're leaving, you can just go to the curb. I remember this almost like, you can go to the curb where you belong or something. Yes. And I was like, well, now it's turned. See, I didn't insult you. I walked away. I did not say anything to you. I did not insult you. One of my triggers is when people insult me. And especially when it's uncalled for. I don't think people know that about me. I don't like to be insulted because I'm going to play nice with you. but I'm not going to hit you first. When you hit me is when I have to return with something much stronger. So, and I think people know that.
They know that now, yes.
So she hit me with these insults. It's like, wait, I'm on the curb? Like, wait, why do you have to insult me, girl? You just insulted me there. I didn't say anything to you. Now we are out on the curb, and now you're just like, all of a sudden you're a different person, and you're like doing the most. Mm-hmm. So that's how that started. People didn't see it that way. They looked at this young, cute girl, so aloof. Oh, it's okay. She's not that now, but she was then.
You see that? That's what you call a class act. Because Kenya, it's a few people that I wanted you to drag through this interview. Porsha being one of them. But I understand that y'all cool now, so I'm going to lay off her. But still, she would never get the real name calling from me. She's going to get Porsha just like Marlo going to get Marho from me. Okay? So now, in this next clip, she basically, insinuates, her level of getting shade thrown at her. She even talks about the time that Nene pulled up on her in the hotel. I believe it was episode 5 or 6 when she moved out that crib. And that the owner had called the police on her and all this extra stuff. This is what she said of her level of shade that she could tolerate versus the very dark shade that she's been receiving. Listen to this.
I can deal with that. Nene pulling up and saying that I was, literally I'm in a 4-star hotel. With a 2-bedroom. And her pulling up and the honk and the horn and stuff like that.
The ghetto, white refrigerator.
Yeah, like, oh, God. And the ambulance in the background and the police sirens. I was like, oh, y'all tried it.
So then you're like, it's funny. It's like, right. It's stupid, whatever.
It's stupid. I'm like, I'll take that L. You know what I mean?
The ghetto. The ghetto. I
can admit that was some funny ass TV. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm so glad that Kenya even brought up that moment. That was a classic Real Housewives moment because I remember when the day that aired, and I ain't gonna lie, I was one of the people that had said it. So yeah, that was funny. See, but that's what I'm saying. It's certain housewives besides Kenya that I love. Nene being one of them when she's not being a mean girl and all this extra stuff. I actually like Nene, even though sometimes she be doing too much in my opinion. But that's another story, another time, child. But this interview itself with Kenya was just really an eye opener. I'm gonna share one last thing that she said in this interview that I felt like that even the trolls gotta listen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna play this one last thing, and this is where she talks about Phaedra. Now, everybody want to talk about Kenya paying for men and all this extra stuff, but let's not forget, Phaedra was the same person that when she came on the show, she didn't even know when her due date when she was pregnant with one of her sons. Then she tried to do some low down dirty stuff in the words of Nene Leakes when Nene Leakes called her out season 5 reunion, called her out, she ain't had nothing to say, and so on and so forth. Let's not forget the things she did to Candy, and then she went on a whole smear campaign against Kenya and so on and so forth. Kenya had touched a little bit on this, so I'm gonna let her speak as far as like, how she feels about Phaedra, and I'm gonna give my last and final commentary and my final thought, and yeah, let's go.
Being accused of being an alcoholic.
Oh my God.
Drunk.
It's someone who's never been drunk a day in their life. God on a hand on a Bible. I have never been drunk a day in my life. I have been tipsy. I've been feeling good from alcohol. I have never ever in my life,
blackout
even
drunk.
to this day, have never been drunk a day in my life. And you have people accusing me, and that's a trigger because guess what? Who accused me of that? And I had never even tasted alcohol before. My mother. Remember the story I told you earlier? She told those people that I was an alcoholic. Yeah. I don't even like liquor like that. You know what I mean? Anybody who's ever gone out with me, if I get 2 drinks, that's rare.
Yeah.
That is rare.
And you're like, that's what I'm saying. You not get a little tipsy, but when your tipsiness is fun and it's whimsical.
I'm a fun
girl.
I'm a fun girl when I drink, but I've never been drunk.
So that hurt you.
It hurt
me.
Because
when Phaedra was calling you an alcoholic, it reminded you of your mother.
And what else did she say? I confided in her about my mom thinking that she had a mental illness because of the way that she treated me. And Phaedra used that when we fell out. She used the 2 things that were my ultimate triggers. Saying that I had some kind of illness because of my mom, and saying that I was an alcoholic. And that all leads back to my mother and her treatment of me and the things that she did to try to destroy me. And that is why I have the opinion that I have of Phaedra now, amongst other things.
We'll get into that in a second, too.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this, and then y'all sound off in the comments, so on and so forth, because there's so many things that Kenya said in this interview that I really want to cover, but in this video, I can't cover everything. These are just the highlight points of what I feel was important, especially for the fact that Kenya went years with half of the stuff on her name, so I feel like this interview had vindicated her. But before we get to that part, let me just say this about Phaedra. Phaedra is good for TV. I will say that. She do give you good read, good shade, whatever you want to call it. But me personally, it's a difference between fun shade and dark shade. I do believe that Phaedra is the type of person that don't play fair when it comes down to throwing good shade or whatnot. I feel like she's the type of person that once you go in her eyes too far with something, she want to go over the board and dig up dirt on people. Because let's not forget, even Nene has said in the season 5 reunion, even Nene has said that she had went as far as trying to dig up, try to get cool with her half sisters that she don't even talk to like that and so on and so forth to try to get dirt on her. Then let's not forget that she did that thing telling Porsha that whole thing about Kandi want to drug and rape her and do all this craziness that I find to this day. How in the world can Kandi forgive Porsha? Because Porsha the one that put it on Front Street, but I guess she can't forgive Phaedra because Phaedra the one that I guess people have told her whatever the situation was. If you can forgive Porsha, you can forgive Phaedra, phony Faye. But you know what? That's why I'm not gonna say I don't like Kandi, but I just don't trust her as far as like being a good friend, and that's why I feel like that girl Akila that just came on the show as Kenya's friend, I feel like I hope and pray that she probably be like the most loyal friend to Kenya, because to be honest with you, and I still say it, I don't feel like Kandi is her real friend. Now, at first I was saying Cynthia too, but the more I think about it, Cynthia was more having Kenya's back versus Kandi in my opinion, because I forgot that it was a season, I forgot what season it was, but that's around the time that everybody named Mama, Nene, Porsha, Phaedra, and all them, they was going against Kenya on some stuff that they knew was a lie, but off the strength of them not liking Kenya, they just went on with whatever they was gonna go on. And Cynthia stood up for Kenya when Kenya was not there, and I can't do nothing but respect Cynthia for that, because regardless of how people say Cynthia flip-flopper or whatever the case may be, the fact that she stood up for what was right is what I appreciate. People say the same thing about Kandi, and I ain't gonna lie, that's one of the things that made me respect Kandi, but in my opinion, I can't respect Kandi at the same time, because let's not forget in the beginning, she was anti-Kenya in the beginning too. The only reason why she hopped on Kenya's side is because she was at odds at Phaedra at the time. Don't nobody want to admit it, but it is what it is. Kandi do not fuck with Kenya like that, and I don't care. Y'all can sit up here and try to drag me in the comments, whatever. Kandi do not fuck with Kenya like that. And even if she do, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm Captain Holy Matrimony around here, but I'm just gonna be honest. Kandi don't fuck with Kenya. I feel like they got more of an alliance than a friendship. I feel like Kenya fuck with Kandi, but I don't feel like it's reciprocated on Kandi's end. I feel like she look at Kenya as an opportunity to try to line up herself with alliance, and that's just that. And because me personally, ain't no way in the world you my friend, and then I'm sitting up here going super hard for you against somebody that basically try to tarnish your name, but you sitting up here being cool with somebody that, you know, that was an advocate on tarnishing my name and all types of shit. So that's the type of things that I don't respect Kandi about. Because if you're going to be real all the way. Don't be real when it's convenient for you. And that's one of the things that I can't say that Kandi was real about. Kandi had real moments, don't get me wrong, but I can't say Kandi real, because let's not forget, the only time that she would tolerate you is if it's going to benefit her. I could be wrong, but hey, that's just my personal opinion. But that's a little off the subject. But back to Phaedra though. And then the fact that everybody's sitting up here and just forgetting the part where Phaedra did a whole lot low down and dirty stuff is really beyond me. Nene had touched on it, Kandi done went through it, and Kenya done went through it. So if everybody's stories done line up, wouldn't that tell you that maybe they telling the truth when it comes down to Phaedra? Because Phaedra went as far as like saying that Kenya had paid for men and all this other stuff, which to me doesn't make sense, because why somebody as beautiful as Kenya Moore need to pay for men? And all you trolls that really went and believe at least a quarter of those rumors, me personally, that just tells me that you're very insecure with your life. You don't have really nothing going on. And the fact that you believe a liar and somebody that's very demonic and everything else over a rumor, that is very telling to me, because I don't care what Kenya do or how truthful Kenya be or whatnot. I mean, I'm not saying that Kenya's a saint and everything, but at least with Kenya, I can understand Kenya's frustration on certain things. Now, not everything, but certain things. Kenya ain't never did nothing low down and dirty. She ain't did nothing no more low down and dirty than your favorite castmate on that show. And that's one of the things that I could never respect about certain people who got them faves. And then they would say little things like, oh, they did this, they did that. But your fave that sat up here and accused her of something that didn't really happen. Like, the lie. You got a fave over here that sat up here and took another woman's man. People will say, well, they wasn't friends. But at the end of the day, if that was Kenya doing that, y'all would drag her from her hair to her butt to everything else. Y'all do it anyway. And that's one of the things why I do not like about fans of certain franchises, because yeah, you're gonna be biased. I'm biased too when it comes down to this franchise, but I'm also fair with my situation. Like I said, I don't agree with certain things Kenya done, but at the same time, I understand why she reacted the way she acted. But some of y'all who have these fans like the Phaedras, the Porshas, and all them, and y'all say that, you know, y'all don't like Kenya because of something stupid or whatever, that's just very telling. So if you don't like Kenya because of this, then I don't like your fave because your fave did twice as much than what Kenya did. The only thing that y'all can say about Kenya is she allegedly was trying to sleep with Apollo, which was a lie. She done sat up there and buying men to play a role as her man, and that's the only thing y'all got. That's the only thing y'all got. So it's just a clear indication to me that a lot of this has something to do with production. Making Kenya, by her being a dark-skinned female, like she said in her own mouth, by her being a dark-skinned female, they want to paint the dark-skinned females into a certain light, whereas their counterparts who did, if not just as worse, they want to make them look like the saints, like they defend and they say, oh, they the old little lamb, and people like the Kenyas and the Candaces is like the big bad wolf. And I don't like that type of stuff. And that's why I feel like Kenya, at this point, if you just happen to listen to this video, and this is coming out of love, if you just sitting there, just listen, just listen. Listen to your fans, listen to Team Toro, just listen to us. Get your own spinoff. Hook up with Carlos, work something out between you and him with a spinoff, and I'm pretty sure that Carlos will get you together, and just leave Bravo all together. You already got a successful business with Kenya Moore hair care and all this other stuff. You got a storyline telling people about how you can raise Brooklyn. You can tell people about your journey, about your divorce from Mark. Hell, you can even talk about your relationship with Roy or whatever the situation is. I just feel like Kenya, the fans spoke on it. I'm speaking on it. You even spoke on it in your interview with Carlos. So Kenya, just do us a favor and just leave Bravo all together. Go on another network, even if it don't have to be Carlos for real. Just go on another network and have your own spinoff. If you do it right with the right team and everything, you could be another Kim Kardashian. And that's big facts right there. Anybody that say otherwise is a mother effing lie. Kim may not have the villain tendencies like Kenya, but hey, people don't like her, but look where she at now. And that's all I'm saying. Kenya, if you knew better, you know that this is what I'm saying makes a lot of sense, especially for your brand and where you're trying to go with your stuff. And I bet you, like I said, if you have the right people, the right team, and the right situation around you that can promote that on everything I love, Kenya, you will be the next Black Kim Kardashian. You already got one title as being Miss USA, but being a billionaire, because I didn't check the net worth. Baby girl getting paid, if you know, you know. But if you want to be up there or higher than where you at and very much appreciated, Get yourself a nice right team. Get your storylines in order. You already got plenty, so you ain't got to worry about that. And get your own spinoff. Get your cake off of it, and boom, F Bravo all together. But that's my commentary, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.